Kamala Harris did a Fox News interview.
I had a debate.
It was not a debate. It was an interview. He just asked her to answer the questions, ma'am. Please. Heard
Kamala
all that,
Harris,
heard, heard all that bullshit before. Please just say the answer. Just give me an answer. Just one answer. So,
Oh,
yeah.
mm,
You say what?
I know. Was gonna say, and then also, yeah. Hold on. I will get to the question eventually, but right now I need to talk for 3 minutes.
That which nobody wanted to hear. And I appreciate him stopping that shit. Thank you, bro. From me to
No, I'm
you.
talking about him before he asks his questions.
Hey, look, I know what you were talking about. I've been watching this the reaction to this interview. It depends on who you like, what your opinion of what happened is going to be. So if you're a Trump fan, you think that he got in her ass. If you like Kamala, you think that she fucked him up. And I ain't even know you could fuck up an interviewer. Like he ain't had no stake in the answer.
Oh, he definitely did.
No, you don't. He don't really give a fuck.
what?
I don't think none of them care, man.
All right,
She.
but he definitely had an intent to make it skew a certain way.
Everybody
Fam,
has a side. You
fam,
don't have to care to have a side.
I don't think that the interview. I don't think most of these political commentators give any fuck about what's going on. I think they see this as if she's elected for another 4 years. Oh my God, I can complain about her for another 4 years without interruption.
Political
No,
If it's
commentators
not,
are antagonists like black people are Baptists. Like
yeah.
they have a side. They may not have chose a side themselves. They were just raised in a side, but they
I mean,
definitely have a viewpoint.
yeah, they have a viewpoint. I ain't gonna argue with that. But
I mean, they don't have to be fervent in their viewpoint, but they definitely have viewpoint.
all I'm saying is, depending on who you like, dictates what you thought about this interview. If you're a Kamala fan, if you're a Kamala fan, you think that she did amazing. If you're a Trump fan, you think that she got her ass handed to her. Me, I think she came off, and it was a rather bad decision to come on this show. I don't see how it served her any good, other than I could yell at the person that I want to too, and try to keep my composure. What you talking about? Like we didn't care. Well, I didn't care. So there's points in the interview, um, that exemplify all these opinions. It starts off hot, and apparently we could play this because I've seen it all over the internet. So why would they stop us from playing it and let everybody else play it? So you can go in. I think 23 seconds might be a little late. If you want to, yeah, go ahead and hit
Madam
play.
Vice
'Cause
President, thank you for the
first,
time.
Thank you. It's good to be with you, Brett.
You know, voters tell pollsters all over the country and here in Pennsylvania that immigration is one of the key issues that they're looking at in countries. How many illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have. And you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
do you
now,
just a
which is-
number? Do you think it's 1 million, 3 million?
I mean, what
Brett,
kind of weird
let's
hey,
ass?
just
look,
get to the
look,
point.
pause it, pause it,
Okay,
pause it.
the
Hey, look,
point
hey, look.
All right,
immigration
now
system that
this
needs
This
to
is
be
this,
repaired.
So
pause it,
your
pause
Homeland Security Secretary said
it.
that
Is it
Hold on,
85%.
Pause it. It's a weird question. What?
I would have jumped off. Hey, I reject
Hey,
the
hold on,
premise
hold
of
on,
this
hold on,
question.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Something echoing really, really bad.
All right. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
All right, so I would have started up off top. Yeah, I reject the premise of this question. We didn't release like they saying it like this administration released. Like, yeah, the premise of this question is disrespectful. So nah,
When
I
he said
reject the premise of this question.
when he says release,
We
he's speaking to an actual thing that happens. They catch them at the border, they process them, and then they'll release them. That's the thing they do. That was under the Biden Harris administration, where they would catch people at the border, process them. They can decide whether or not to send them back to Mexico or wherever they came from, or release them and have them be monitored here for a trial date in the future at some point. They
Mhm.
chose a lot of the latter. They chose a lot of the latter. Yeah, so it's a real legitimate question when he says released, because that's an actual thing. And the I forget the agency that reports the numbers, but they said released into the US. So he's just using the verbiage that is given to him and afforded to him.
Mm. Okay. All right. We'll rock with that then.
All right. Go ahead and hit play.
But
And
I'm
of
not finished. I'm not
apprehensions.
finished. We have
It's a
an
rough
immigration
estimate of 6
system
million people
that
have been
needs to be.
released into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get to the question, I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
And when you came into office, your administration immediately reversed a number of Trump border policies. Most significantly, the policy that required illegal immigrants to be detained through deportation, either in the US or in Mexico. And you switched that policy. They were released from custody awaiting trial. So instead, included in those were a large number of single men, adult men, who went on to commit heinous crimes. So, looking back, do you regret the decision to terminate Remain in Mexico at the beginning of your administration?
At the beginning of our
All right.
administration, within
That was the end
practically
of her.
hours of
Now,
taking the
we
Hold on.
are a minute and 41 into it, and now she gets to say 2 sentences.
Okay. Hey, look, she got to at first, and she started off with the the problem at the border is, and you know what I'm gonna say. No, I don't care. Did you let in? How many people you let in to this motherfucker? How many people, Kamala? I'm sorry.
It's a 1 minute and 3.
How many people?
Well, the answer I'm gonna get to your question. I'm gonna get to my question in a second.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. All the stars and rainbows and shit. But hey, look, he's gonna let her talk now,
Mm-hmm.
and listen what happens when she gets the chance to speak.
oath. The first bill that we offered Congress before
Hey, rewind it a little
we
bit.
worked on
'Cause he asked, rewind it about
infrastructure,
to his question.
before
So let me
the
ask you the
Inflation
question. About
Reduction
15
Act,
seconds.
before the Chips and Science.
To terminate Remain in Mexico at the beginning of your administration?
At the beginning of our administration, within practically hours of taking the oath.
Custody awaiting trial. So instead,
Why you go
included
back?
in
You were
those
there.
were a large number of single men, adult men, who went on to commit heinous crimes. So, looking back, do you regret the decision to terminate Remain in Mexico at the beginning of your administration?
At the beginning of our administration, within practically hours of taking the oath, the first bill that we offered Congress before we worked on infrastructure, before the Inflation Reduction Act, before the Chips and Science Act, before the bipartisan Safer
You listing way
Communities
too
Act,
many.
the
Listing way too
first
many shit.
bill, practically within hours of taking the oath, was a bill to fix our immigration system.
Yes, ma'am. It was called
And-
the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021. It was essentially a pathway to citizenship for the. Yes, ma'am.
May I finish responding,
But here,
please?
but this.
you
Don't
have
say
to let
that.
me
Don't say
finish.
that
You
shit. I
had
don't
the
want you to
White
say it.
House
Please don't
and
say
the
it.
House and the Senate,
I'm
and
in
they
the
didn't
middle
bring
of
up that bill.
responding to the point you're raising.
Okay.
And I'd like to finish.
Yes, ma'am.
See?
We recognized from day one that, to the point of this being your first question, it is a priority for us as a nation and for the American people. And our focus has been on fixing a problem. And from day one, then, we have done a number of things, including to address our asylum system and put more resources, getting more judges, what we needed to do to tighten up penalties and increase penalties for illegal crossings, what we needed to do to deal with points of entry between border entry points. That's the work we did, and we worked on supporting what was a bipartisan effort, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, to actually strengthen the border. That border bill would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border, which is why I believe the Border Patrol agents supported the bill. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States, which is a scourge affecting people of every background, every geographic location in our country, killing people. It would have allowed us to put more resources into prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, which I have done as the Attorney General, former Attorney General of a border state.
Madam Vice President, a couple of things.
Prosecuted trafficking
All right, so she has
of
to talk for a
drugs,
very long
guns,
time.
and human
Hold on.
beings. And
Six
Donald
Democrats-
Trump, but let me just finish.
Six
And
Democrats
Donald
voted
Trump,
against
Pause it. If you're gonna pause it, keep it paused. Why you keep unpausing it? What you finna say?
Oh, just that she made her point here. Like, yeah, this immigration shit is fucked up, but we had a bill that was gonna help address this shit. But your boy ain't want it.
No. That's not what she said right there. Right there, what she said was we had a bill to address it day one. She's not talking about the one they just brought up a couple months ago. She's talking about the one that they introduced early off into the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
The path to citizenship bill. That was the one that nobody wanted to bring up for a vote. None of the Democrats in the House.
No, they wanted to bring it up.
No, they didn't. They had control. House and Senate. They said, nah, fuck that shit.
Mm-hmm.
They said, nah, fuck that shit. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. It was about immediately putting a bunch of motherfucking immigrants and trying to naturalize them. And then saying that we're gonna bring over a predetermined amount every year. And I think like 2 million motherfuckers every year. Just come on in. Like, not, and people weren't going to agree to that, and they didn't. And I think it might have had some other shit tied to it too. I can't remember, but people didn't agree to that shit. They didn't like that shit. It sounded stupid. But here's what she keeps trying to avoid, that he keeps trying to press her on. Under Trump's administration, they had the Remain in Mexico policy in place. When Biden and Harris came into office, Biden said, fuck that shit. I'm repealing that. Immediately allowing them to be over here and wait here.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what a lot of people point to as a huge component of all this immigration that we have going on right now. So had not they reversed a bunch of those Trump era executive orders, maybe the border wouldn't have been so porous over their term. But to sit here and say that, look, I know we quadrupled the amount of motherfuckers that was able to come in before we got here, but the other motherfucker was bad too. So we 4 times as bad, but he was bad, so we're better. Like, no. It doesn't even make sense when you say it. But
so we're basing all of this immigration on the reversal of that particular statute.
hey, look, man, if the executive orders were in place and it was keeping immigration numbers in check, and then you take those away, and then the immigration numbers balloon out of control, how can you not say that taking away those protections wasn't a mistake? She refuses to say that was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
All she says was, we had a plan, not admitting that it was a crappy plan that herself today wouldn't even agree with. That's why she doesn't want him to let you know what was in the damn bill they was proposing in the first place. That's why she want to cut him off when he says the name of it. Oh, because you say the name of it, people might look it up. And when they look it up, they're gonna see what was in it. And they're gonna know that it's dumb as hell for me to even bring this shit up that I wouldn't even support today. The immigration policies that I'm trying to enact today are far more to the right of those that we expressed in that bill in when we first got in office.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying. This shit don't make no sense when you listen to her. When you listen to her and put her shit into context and have an understanding of what the fuck was said before, what the fuck was going on, it's like she sounds crazy. How are people calling her the sane one? How can
Because I can explain that one.
the sane? There is no sane one. They
Yes,
both nutty.
yes, there is a sane one where one is markedly less crazy than the other.
Fam,
One of them sounds way more nuts than the other.
You don't get to be sane because that motherfucker's crazier.
You are the sane one when that person is crazier. Yes,
there's
you are.
no
Yes,
sane one.
that's how that
There's
works.
two crazy people. That's not how it works.
That's literally how it works.
One of you will be the sane one.
No, that's literally how it works.
You're not. There's no sane one, fam. There's no sane one.
No, that is literally how it works. Whoever's
Hey,
less
look.
crazy is the same one.
No, they're just they're the least crazy. That doesn't mean they're not crazy. They're still crazy.
Yes, the saner one.
No, the saner one is not the sane one.
Yes, it is when there's only two.
No,
yes, that is when there's only two.
It's not. They're not sane. This is not coming from a place of logical thought.
Hey, fam.
None of this shit.
Hey, Mr. Slow. Sane is a scale.
Yeah.
It is. Sanity is a scale judged by the people in it.
Sanity is a scale. Sane is not.
Huh?
Sanity is a scale. We can judge your level of sanity, but you being sane, you either are or you're not. You're either sane or insane.
You know that's the same word, right?
No, sanity is the degree to which you try to gauge something, but you're either sane or you're insane. Fam, you are 4 sane, you're 5 sane, you're 6 sane. What the fuck we talking about?
Yes, history is told from the side of the victors, bro. I don't know what you think. Cannibalism is only illegal because motherfuckers don't agree with it. But the people who eating the motherfuckers, if they would have won the fight, guess what we all be doing right now? So sanity is a sliding scale judged by the people in it.
Hey, I'm gonna agree to disagree.
Hey, nigga, walking around with your balls out. Walking around with your balls out is weird, but if everybody walking around with your balls out, with their balls out, and you got on pants, guess what? You're the weirdo with pants on.
You're the fucking weirdo with pants on. If everybody walking out with assless chaps and you got on normal pants, get it through the weirdo.
You cheek covered motherfucker.
Okay.
Now you may not agree with the sanity. You may want to institute your own scale, which is perfectly acceptable. But to say that one of them ain't sane when we gotta choose from one of these motherfuckers,
we don't have to choose from either of them.
You're right.
You can pick a whole nother person if you wanted to.
And not there.
You say what?
They're not there. What you instituting is that that enough of us have to throw away our vote.
Hey, look.
And then it becomes a viable option. But right now, there is no viable third option.
Fam, I'm not throwing away my vote. I'm voting for the person that I like the most.
That's throwing away your vote.
No, it's not. It's voting for the person I want.
No, for that have zero.
Voting for the person I want to win. I'm not voting because I want to vote for the person that will win. What
so
the fuck?
You vote for me. That wasn't throwing away your vote. That you would want me to win above all them motherfuckers. That's still throwing away your vote.
Look, me voting for you is not throwing away my vote. My vote is my vote. My vote counts for what it was. I'm not throwing it away unless I just don't vote. Then you could say I'm throwing it away. I take that. But if I'm voting, you can't say I'm throwing away my vote because the person that I like doesn't have a good a chance to win as the other person.
That's exactly what throwing away your vote is.
Fam, then okay, all right. So if Trump is in the lead, then we all should vote for Trump. If Trump had a 50, if he had if it was 64%
60,
of
no, you
of the
vote
vote.
for the lesser of two
If
evils,
you,
which we all been doing for the last 70 years.
I'm voting for the lesser of all the evils. Why do I have to choose from just these two?
Because these two are the viable candidates.
Yeah.
And then you go back to this conundrum where you're voting for motherfuckers who you think can only win. You're only voting for the person who can win, and that logic it doesn't hold out.
You're not
It
voting for
doesn't
the only
make
person
sense.
that can win. You're
You
voting
are,
for the person closest to your consumer base that can win. Of the candidates that are viable, you're
you say
voting for the one that is closer aligned to your sentiments.
they're
That's how
only
voting works.
they're only the viable candidates because everybody agrees. All you motherfuckers agree that they're viable candidates,
There you
even though
go.
you don't,
Whatever the reason,
even though
whatever
you
the
don't like them. So hey, look, allow me to rule and not be a sheep like the rest of you motherfuckers. I'm not gonna sit here and say that there's only two choices. If you all want to continue to say that shit that's false, then go ahead and say it. But there are more than just these two individuals running to be the president of the United States in 2024.
I can run.
You can
You're making
do
a
it.
moot point.
Do it. Can you run?
All right,
Can
all
you?
right, hold on. Now, the candidate is the candidate that you are voting for. Are they on enough balance to get the number of electoral votes needed to be elected?
Nope.
Okay, well then they are not a viable option. There is
They are a
literally
viable
no.
option because you can write in anybody you want to write in, and if you want to write this motherfucker in, write them in the state that you sit in that doesn't allow them on the ballot. And I am currently in one of those fucking states. And hey, look, Democrats are not endearing me to them by fighting to keep the Green Party off of the ballot here. I'm not. She's not invisible. I don't forget that she exists when I step into the booth. I know how to spell Jill and Stein. And the other motherfucker, Butch Ware, fam, they made it easy as fuck for a motherfucker who can't spell like me.
So that is the key.
Hey,
Aljo
Bears
needs
ain't
to.
embarrassed to tell you Stein ain't that easy.
Hey, look, I can ballpark it.
Yeah, but you can't ballpark in an official vote.
Yeah. Hey, look. Anyway, old Brett, he drops the hammer in a second. We didn't get to that part yet. On her in this immigration thing, real quick. It gets kind of ugly. If you could roll this little piece right here, real quick, Madam Producer. Just hit play. Yeah, where you at?
About that bill and told them to kill it because he preferred to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And in this is rightly a discussion that the American people want to have. And what they want are solutions, and they want a president of the United States who's not playing political games with the issue,
I hear you.
but actually is focused on fixing it.
6 Democrats voted against that bill. It would have allowed 1.8 million illegal immigrants into the country a year. A lot of conservatives had a problem with it. These are the 6 Democrats. But more importantly, back to the original premise, Jocelyn Nungari, Rachel Morin, Laken Riley, they are young women who were brutally assaulted and killed by some of the men who were released at the beginning of the administration, well before a negotiated bipartisan bill. Former President Clinton actually referred to Laken Riley Sunday, campaigning for you in Georgia, saying if those men had been properly vetted, Laken Riley probably would not have been killed. So if it wouldn't have happened, this is well before any negotiation. This is well before Donald Trump got involved in the politics. This is a specific policy decision by your administration to release these men into the country. So what I'm saying to you, do you owe
Brett,
those
I think
families an apology?
Let me just say, first of all, those are tragic cases. There's no question about that. There's no question about that. And I can't imagine the pain that the families of those victims have experienced
All right, she's
for a loss
monologuing.
that should not have occurred. So that is true. It is also true that if a border security had actually been passed 9 months ago, it would be 9 months that we would have had more border agents at the border, more support for the folks who are working around the clock trying to hold it all together
Madam Vice President.
to ensure that no future harm would occur. And this election in 20 days will determine whether we have a president of the United States who actually cares more about fixing a problem, even if it is not to their political advantage in an election, because there was a solution, Brett.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the early part of your administration. I will let one of the mothers talk about it. Take a listen.
Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungare's life. I believe the Biden-Harris administration open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
That's the early days. So do you owe them an apology is what I'm saying.
I will tell you that I am so sorry for her loss. I'm so sorry for her loss, sincerely. But let's talk about what is happening right now with an individual who does not want to participate in solutions. Let's talk about that as well.
You can't
Brett
pivot
Harris,
that
in all
quick.
fairness, I told you, I feel
That was
awful
definitely a really,
for what
really
she
quick
and her
pivot.
family have experienced.
During that time, you
You muted.
I was trying to get her to pause it. What y'all was saying?
That was a really, really, really quick pivot.
We were just cracking jokes.
Oh,
Very, very quick pivot. She quit.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry
But
for
let's
your
talk
loss.
about this other shit.
Sorry for your
Yeah.
loss. But in other news, motherfuckers be motherfuckering.
mhm. And I told you she ain't apologize. That sorry for your loss shit ain't an apology, fam. Everybody says sorry for your loss. Motherfucker had nothing to do with it. Your relative died in a car accident. They was 100 miles away. Sorry for your loss. I am so sorry that happened to you. They accusing you of directly being responsible for implementing the policy that resulted in the death of their loved one. You don't get to say my condolences to respond. Either it's on you or it's not on you. That's what the question at hand is. Was that on you or was it not on you? She's saying it's on you. She's saying she naming your shit directly, specifically. Like she got very, very detailed with her gripe.
Yeah.
And you can't even really check her about it because it's legitimate. Unless you tell me that she ain't have a daughter or something and she's a plant. She ain't real. Fake news. You let me know.
Yeah. I mean, she's not. Yeah. You can't. I feel like she did. She expressed her condolences. I wouldn't say she's directly to blame for it. So I get why she's not apologizing directly for it, but I mean, she expressed her condolences. But the way that this nigga interviewed her was a whole bunch of bullshit
It's his fault.
because the moments immediately after lets you know that this nigga has an itinerary.
Hey, look, he could definitely have an itinerary or agenda.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. Everybody that's interviewed her so far has had an agenda, from the Charlemagne the guy to the View and Sonny Halston to the Call Me Daddy woman podcast chick. Everybody has had an agenda when they've interviewed her. Steve Harvey came out with it and just said it explicitly, like, "Hey, look, this ain't that. This is a lob. This is an alley-oop for a slam dunk." All right, G, cool. But when it happens on the opposite end, when the motherfucker is really just, I'm just here to fuck her up.
Wait. Hold on. I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I just said something popped in my head that I remember that I need y'all to remember. Did y'all see whoever that Sunny bitch is? You just said Sunny. She's on a TV show.
The View.
So she's on a show with other women.
Yep.
And one of the women attacked black men recently. So let's talk about that after.
Well, oh, she did. It was
Who?
her.
Who?
It was Sunny.
No, it wasn't Sonny. It was somebody else.
They call black men crazy and ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was Sunny.
All right. Well, I'm thinking Sonny is somebody else then. Sonny done lost a lot of weight. She ain't fat no more.
You thinking about Star Jones?
No, I'm thinking about Sonny, the fat black bitch from the Cooking Network. That's who was on that show at first. I thought.
Okay. It was not Sherry Shepherd. It was, I thought I just said her name.
Star Jones.
Star Jones. Star Jones was the fat black
No,
woman
Sonny,
on the show.
just Google Sonny.
Yeah,
Cooking.
Sunny. I ain't know she had a cooking show. I don't know none of them that had a cooking show. Sherry Shepherd, Star Jones, none of them. But Sunny is not fat. I don't know if she's ever been fat. She looked nice. Thinks horrible, but looks nice. Looks good. But so we'll go to that right after this though. I had a clip with Nina Simone address that, and I like when not Nina Simone, Nina Turner, what Nina Turner had to say about it. It was kind of decent. But back to this roasting of Kamala. So
Sonny Anderson.
Sonny Anderson?
Yes, that's the bitch from the Food Network.
Oh, I don't know who she is. Sonny Houston is the one I'm talking about from The View, though.
All right. What about Sunshine Anderson?
Hey, look, she said it all before. I don't know. I didn't have another reference for Sunshine Anderson.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. Speaking of said it all before, Kamala just kept saying she said. Oh no. Anyway, so old boy addressing her to that point of your policy, your direct policy that your administration implemented resulted in these gentlemen being released into the U.S. to do this dastardly deed. That's a direct result of your administration's policy. How can you then say, well, I'm not culpable for the ramifications of the ideas I had when they come out bad? But when it's an idea that you feel is good and the shit work, look at me and congratulate me and give me the credit for doing the good thing. When you do a thing and bad shit happens, you got to get credit for the bad shit too. No?
Yeah.
I rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
Hey,
all I have to do is repent, and none of it sticks on my permanent record.
That's for Jesus, but right now down here, hey, look, your earthly record, that shit hold.
Hey, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Yep. All right. Well, come back out this life sentence and holler at me then. See if he moved a rock for you. I don't know. But he got her on it, and she tries to dance around it and just shift it to, but Trump. At a point, you got to stop blaming him for the shit that you do. When we just see you do it. You got rid of his executive orders. You put in policy that directly harmed American citizens, put American citizens in danger. That's what y'all did. If you can't own up to that and say, we fucked up, but to fix that, we wanted to do this, that, or the third.
Yeah.
If a fucking politician can be honest about some actual shit that they did that didn't work, that they thought might have worked and was fucked up, and say, oh, that was fucked up, but I learned from that mistake. You never hear these motherfuckers say they learned from shit.
I heard Obama say it a couple times.
What do you learn from?
I specifically heard him say it about letting the gays marry.
Did this nigga just say he learned some shit from Jeb Bush?
Nah.
Oh.
Yeah, I said when Obama said that he evolved on gay marriage.
No, I thought you said you learned something from Jeb Bush. I'm half listening to you niggas. I'm out during sports and politics.
Yeah, I understand.
Hey, he didn't ban gay marriage and then come back and say my bad for banning that shit. I mean something that they did that they fucked up and then come back and say, "I fucked that up." That's not that was a position that he held because he wanted to be a Christian and he was Christian all his life and he thought of marriage between a man and a woman and that's what I thought. He didn't implement no policy to impact them in a negative way. He wasn't even in position long enough to do any of that shit when he was
Nah,
a senator.
it was already there.
Right.
And
I'm
he was
talking
just
about
like,
what
yeah, let it ride.
right. So what I'm saying is the things they did that they can't sit here and say, "Man, yeah, I fucked that up." Not the lot of them just act like we're fucking mental patients or some shit. Like we're not adult human beings sit here charged with the responsibility of electing one of you motherfuckers to this office. Somebody got to do it. We got to elect somebody, and everybody want to sit here and just lie to a motherfucker. When do we as a people sit up and say that the lies don't work no more? I don't believe none of that bullshit. And if you want to get this position, then you're gonna have to earn it in a way that makes me want to vote for you and not vote against the other person. I don't know why we don't be at that. Well, we don't get to that spot. I don't know why. What's the holdup?
We were there before.
We gotta stay there. Shit.
Yeah, we gotta stay there, but we can only stay there if both sides agree to stay there.
Hey, look, fam.
The moment one side decides to go far, 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 then the other side is pretty much fighting for survival. There needs to be a gentleman's agreement, and right now there's no gentleman politicians.
I mean, there's not. You're right about that. I ain't gonna even hold you. You're right about that part. Ain't none of these motherfuckers gentlemen. Go ahead and hit play. Let's see what else. Well, I don't know what the next part of this video was, but go ahead and hit play.
You said repeatedly that the border was secure. When in your mind did it start becoming a crisis?
I think we've had a broken immigration system transcending, by the way, Donald Trump's administration even before. Let's all be honest about that. I have no pride in saying that this is a perfect immigration system. I've been clear, I think we all are, that it needs to be fixed. We need more. I was just down at the border talking with border agents, and they will tell you, and I'm sure you probably, I know you investigate and you are a serious journalist. They will tell you we need more judges. We need to process those cases faster. We need the support for those cases that should be prosecuted. They need more resources, and Congress ultimately is the only place that's going to get fixed, Brett.
Well,
that's how this system works.
That's the premise of this question.
But
There were
that's how the
90
system
plus
works.
executive orders that were rescinded in the first days. Many of those were Trump border policies. I'm not going to stay here because there's other things to talk about, but you frequently talk to the Border Patrol Union for support of that bipartisan bill, and they did. They supported it. But they also just endorsed Donald Trump and said, you've been, quote, a failure with border security. Why do you think they said that?
I think they're frustrated, and I get it. They want support. They want support, and that's what that border security bill would have done. These guys down at the border, these men and women, they're working hard. They're working around the clock. I get it.
There's a lot of people that look back at what you said in 2019 when you first ran for president. And there have been changes, and you've talked about some of them. When it comes to immigration, you supported allowing immigrants in the country illegally to apply for driver's license, to qualify for free tuition at universities, to be enrolled in free health care. Do you still support those things?
Listen, that was 5 years ago, and I'm very clear that I will follow the law. I have made that statement over and over again, and as Vice President of the United States, that's exactly what I've done, not to mention before.
If that's the case, you chose a running mate, Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, who signed those very things into state law. So do you support that?
We are very clear, and I am very clear, as is Tim Walz, that we must support and enforce federal law, and that is exactly what we will do.
So decriminalizing border crossings, like you said in 2019.
I do not believe in decriminalizing border crossings, and I've not done that as vice president. I will not do that as president.
So these are evolutions that you've had.
But let's be very clear. I'm the only person who's running for president who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations, from the Sinaloa cartel to the Guadalajara cartel to people who have trafficked in guns, drugs, and human beings. I have spent a significant part of my career going after people who present a threat to the safety of the American people and cross our border with the intent of doing us harm and cross our border illegally. And I will do that work as vice president. I take that work quite seriously.
This is a time when voters, especially here in Pennsylvania, are inundated with commercials and ads. They just want it to stop because it's every commercial. But
Pause it. Pause
many
it.
of
Pause
them
it.
add
Pause
noise,
it.
but a few of them.
Pause it. Okay, so I think he cooked during that segment about immigration. I really do. I
She
don't.
cooked him with that inflection. You're a journalist? She cooked him with that inflection.
Hey, look, she was fighting back. I'm calling that a 10-8 round. I don't know what to tell you. We'll call that a 10-8 round, Brett. Nigga, what the fuck is you doing?
I'm fucking for trying to kill myself. I'm trying to kill myself live on air. Yes, I'm not supposed to be smoking. My lungs be shut off, but I can't eat or drink right now. So I need to do something. But I got my beautiful.
Nigga, you ain't got to do.
Yeah, you don't.
I got my Buterol right here.
Can you be a crackhead on weed?
Yes. I got an addictive personality. That's why I don't do certain things. I have a very addictive personality, but it also keeps me not broke like everybody else.
Hey, look. You know what? You a cluck with
Yeah.
better decision making.
Yes. I'm a cluck that I'm fishbone. I'm a cluck that don't steal. I'm a trustworthy cluck.
A trustworthy cluck with better decision making. I'm not gonna do that shit, but I do this. Whoa, that's a bridge too far now. Hold on. That's a little hard.
I argue with motherfuckers a lot until I figured out the perfect comeback to that. Nigga, I have found the exact speed at which I wish to kill myself, motherfucker. Motherfucker, how you don't eat pork but you smoke? Because I found the exact speed at which I want to kill myself.
Hey, don't judge my pace.
Right. Oh shit, I ain't smoked in a while.
That shit hits you, didn't it? It do that.
Yeah.
It do that when you take a break. And it only take a couple days too. It'd be sometimes worth it.
About 5 days.
Yeah, because I took an edible, and after I ain't had one in a couple of days, and I was high as fuck for a nice little minute. Shit's gonna get to you.
All right. Hey, so I thought he cooked during that last segment. Y'all didn't think so, but I scored it 10-8. I don't know what y'all scored it, but WBC, IBF, WBA rules. What you scoring that last round?
I'm scoring it assault because remember, fighting is like sex. If both people didn't agree to it, it's a crime. And
we gonna keep it consistent. We ain't gonna keep it consistent. Nothing. All right, you scored an assault.
yeah, because if you decide that we in a boxing match and I didn't agree to it, nigga, you are assaulting me.
Hey, look, ride out. That's what we gonna do. That's how it is. Hey, so what you grading it? Orange.
Paying attention.
All right, cool. He abstains. we gonna be fancy with it.
Yeah.
All right. So this next one coming up. This clip. This clip. Well, it's a clip now. At this point, when the shit get clipped. This one is referencing the comment that Donald Trump made on the debate stage, where he said that she want to give inmates sex changes and have you pay for it. Everybody said this motherfucker is crazy as he out his mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
We remember that, correct?
I do.
Pepperidge Farm remembers. It seems that there was an ad. I saw the ad a couple days ago. I don't know why I'm trying to put all this build up to it, but he made an ad a couple weeks ago, well, a couple days ago, whenever the fuck he did it. That found when she was out stomping for a particular policy that Everybody said he was crazy for accusing her of being anywhere in the realm of. But soon as she hit play, you're gonna see this particular commercial that, hey, look, shout out to Brett again. This is a motherfucking hell of an interview. Go ahead and play, please. Thank you.
Seemed to break through. This particular one from the Trump campaign has gotten a lot of attention.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery for prisoners. For prisoners, every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
So are you still in support of using taxpayer dollars to help prison inmates or detained illegal aliens to transition to another gender?
I will follow the law. And it's a law that Donald Trump actually followed. You're probably familiar with, now it's a public report, that under Donald Trump's administration, these surgeries were available on a medical necessity basis to people in the federal prison system. And I think, frankly, that ad from the Trump campaign is a little bit of like throwing, stones when you're living in a glass house.
The Trump aides say that he never advocated for that prison policy and no gender transition surgeries happened during his...
For what happened in your administration.
Pause it. Because when he said that on the debate stage to her, her response to that was, that was her response. But today, Donald Trump, you did it too. It was a policy under your administration as well.
So Tuesday, hey, is it still gonna be Tuesday? Yeah, it'll still be Tuesday. Okay.
Still gonna be Tuesday, but you out here you fighting, you fought for this, you advocated for it.
What do you mean she advocated for it? I didn't hear her advocating for shit. Matter of fact, I didn't even hear the end of that fucking sentence, that clip that they said.
Oh, so you think that there was like some contextual stuff that you missed at the end of that?
I'm thinking she's saying, hey, if you got the services that you're gonna keep having the services that you've already had.
She literally said he did it too.
Yeah.
So I think that's the admission of guilt.
Yeah, they're saying that, hey, the same shit that you already have, you will keep having.
She's fighting for it. It's a thing that's a law. It was a law before it was an agreed upon thing before Trump was president. While he was president, I don't think anybody got one of those, and he says that in an interview as well. Nobody got one, but she's out here advocating for it. And when he says that she advocates for it, and you act as though he's crazy or speaking something that is untrue about you, it comes off as liar, fake, phony, fraud. Who the hell are you? What are you doing up here if not just lying like the other guy to all of the American people?
You know what they say? Lies and flies I do despise. But the more I hang around niggas, the more I start to like flies.
That's why she went to Howard. Just saying, this shit don't make sense. If you know, then you should really be questioning how you feel about this woman.
All
At
right.
a point.
All right, so you saying that she's advocating for, where is she advocating for this? When has she been advocating for this?
And look, hey producer, I ain't even gonna ask you to actually search that actual source video up. If you can just rewind it back a couple of seconds to the clip, or if you could, if you wanted to find the campaign ad itself, it shows it in its full.
And the ad, he just accused her of advocating for this shit, and her response was, "Trump did it too." I don't think we need. She's advocating. He just accused her of advocating, and she responded, "Trump did it too."
She said we're gonna follow the laws that's already been in place.
It's a cop out.
All I'm saying is she lightweight admitted to advocating for it, because he accused her of advocating for it, and she didn't deny it. Her response was, "We're gonna follow the law," and Trump did it too. So if I'm asking you if you're a pedophile and you don't say no, that's kind of a silent admission.
Well, the law say in Kentucky she can be 14. Like, motherfucker, what? I don't.
And again, I have no dog in this race. God damn it, I'm just fighting for truth, justice, and American way.
Hey,
because I personally, again, I like the way she. You're a journalist.
I know you like that inflation, that upward. Hey,
Yeah,
look, but
that was some shit only a black person could do.
Just for my own edification, though, can you play that part of the interview again? Can you just go back to that part where they're
aliens to transition to another gender?
I will follow the law.
No, go back to the commercial. Right, yeah, in that area right there. Right, go back a little bit more. Right there.
Changes for prisoners.
Surgery. For prisoners. For prisoners, every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
So are you still in support of using taxpayer dollars to help prison inmates or detained illegal aliens to transition to another?
So, doesn't seem like advocate. It seems like she was answering a fucking question. Like, hey, are transgender people that get arrested still gonna have access to the same shit they have? Well, yes, transgender.
Are you still in support? It's written on the screen what he asked the bitch. Are you still in support?
Hey, hold on. One more time. Bring it back. One more time.
Why do we have to bring it back? It's right.
Because I want to fucking hear it, nigga. God damn.
In the prison system would have access.
You got to keep going. You got to go back a little bit further to the.
So are you still in support of using taxpayer dollars to help?
Hey, Candace, not right there. Go back before that woman starts.
Has gotten a lot of attention.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery. For prisoners. For prisoners, every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
So are you still in support of using taxpayer dollars to help prison inmates or detained illegal aliens to transition to another gender?
No, is that not her answering the fucking question?
But the question is, do you advocate for it?
I don't know what the fucking question.
The question was, are you still in support of that? Her answer was, I will follow the law.
I will follow the law that is in place.
But do you like it? Are you in support of that law, or are you going to do that? You're going to enforce that holding your nose? That's the question. And she just said, I'm going to follow the law. She's in support of it, fam. Why are we arguing? Why we got to argue that?
I mean, because you can literally say, no, I don't support it, but I'm going to follow the law. You could literally say that. And she did not. She chose not to. Purposefully. Okay. Why? Because she advocates for the law.
Yeah.
So right there, she couldn't say no.
Yeah, she could have. She could have said no. She could have said no. I don't support it, but she did not. No, she.
You know why? Because she's in support of
it. Oh, that is lit. All right.
That was the question she was asked. Right?
Yeah, and she said, "Do you advocate for it?" No, I'm just gonna follow the law. Do I agree with the law? She didn't say, but yes, she could have said, "No, I didn't agree with the law."
Because that's the question she was asked. Like, God, what the fuck? There's way other places to win this argument.
Motherfucker, I'm not trying to win a fucking argument.
Okay, whatever you try to do, there's better places to do it than this. They're pretending that she didn't just say what she said. Like, we know what dancing around the question is. We all are fucking in our 40s. We know what dancing around the question is.
We know.
Right. So if she wasn't in support, she's smart enough to at that point say, no, I'm not in support of it. Because he asked her directly, was she in support of using taxpayer dollars? He was very direct in his questioning. And she's intelligent enough to say no if she wasn't in support. She didn't misspeak there. She sidestepped the question as best she could while still maintaining her position.
Mm-hmm.
So we can all admit that and not lose any favor in our ground or whatever we trying to stand on. Because that is literally what just happened.
Mm-hmm. And we're gonna agree to disagree. Continue on.
All right.
Moving on.
She also did. It was another point in the interview where she conceded the interview. Or if you wanted to say it was a debate, she conceded the debate.
All right, I got one question.
Yeah.
One last question. When R. Kelly said, "What do you mean by teenager?" What do we all surmise from that?
That he's fucking little kids.
Okay, all right. Now we can move on.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, continue with your sentence.
Okay. So, there was a point in the argument where, or in the debate, we calling it, where she conceded it, and she didn't say I concede the debate. What she did was she could no longer articulate her point, and she resorted to the tried and true trope, saying whatever you want to call it. Man, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to say. You get it. You know what I'm talking about. Because she couldn't prove what the fuck she was talking about. She couldn't substantiate a point about Donald Trump, and she resorted to, but you get it. Why do I even have to say it? I mean, it's you know what I'm trying to. No, I don't know what you're trying to say. It's your job to articulate the things that you feel with your words, and she couldn't do it. She could not do it. It's I think around about 14 or 15 minutes or so. If I don't know if you want to try to search for it, don't play it for us. If you can play it for you and then uh play it for us. But while you look for that, um I came across um a couple of opinions of hers about transgender rights. And I'm gonna read this to you as I read it to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Transgender rights is a section in this particular article. Harris also wrote that she supported taxpayer funding of gender transition surgeries for detained immigrants and federal prisoners. She wrote that she supported taxpayer funding of gender transition surgeries for detained immigrants and federal prisoners. That's what CNN is saying that she said. Here it goes. Harris was asked if, as president, she would use executive authority to ensure that transgender and non binary people who rely on the state for medical care, including those in prison and immigration detention, will have access to comprehensive treatment associated with gender transition, including all necessary surgical care. Harris replied, yes. It is important that transgender individuals who rely on the state for care receive the treatment they need, which includes access to treatment associated with gender transition. Harris wrote in a reply, expanding on her answer, that's why, as Attorney General, I pushed the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation to provide gender transition surgery to state inmates, she wrote. Harris explained that she supported granting prisoners and detainees access to surgical care for gender transition. Quote, transition treatment is a medical necessity, and I will direct all federal agencies responsible for providing essential medical care to deliver transition treatment, she wrote. The first ever gender affirming surgery in federal prison occurred only recently in 2022 after years of legal battles. Harris's answer marked a change from her previous position as California Attorney General when she defended the California Department of Corrections' attempt to deny transition surgery. While running for president in 2019, Harris faced criticism over that previous position. At a news conference and later a LGBT forum that year, Harris said defending the policy was contrary to my beliefs, but she was obligated to defend policy while she worked behind the scenes to change it. She's just telling you what the fuck you want to hear when she thinks you want to hear it. There is no actual belief system implanted in her core. She will do whatever the fuck she deems necessary. But along the way of doing whatever the fuck she deems is necessary, she will be against the thing if it's time for her to be against it, and for that very same thing when it's more advantageous to her to be for it. So I do not, by any stretch of the imagination, believe that she actually believes in gender affirming surgeries for inmates and things like that. I don't think that she believes that it was a core value true to her. But I believe she'll support that policy. I believe she'll fight for that policy if she thinks it'll get her more votes than the opposition position.
All right. Well, to me, it sounds like I will do my job, and unfortunately, this is part of my job. I mean, I don't agree with that, but I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.
I'm
Like,
still advocating for taking the Q out of LGBTQ. Them motherfuckers are straight.
just fucking with
They just
They
all
straight because they not the L, they not G, they not B. They fucking straight. They just wear women's drawers.
Hey.
That's how we have to. This is how we have to address them. We have to dismantle this group from the inside. Pause.
Look, first of all, I'm not going to get into inside to dismantle this group. I don't know if you know what that entails, but to get inside,
Pause.
you got to be
Who
an L,
did?
a G, a B, or a T. I don't know, but anyway, I don't know how you still stuck on that. These are direct quotes from her from CNN. And hey, look, while she was attorney general at a time, yes, she said a thing and she said that I had to do that when I was there. But as her now, and this is her true voice that she's saying, okay, cool. But in her true voice, she's saying, I support transgender surgeries, sex changes for people in prison. Not only the prisoners, but also illegal immigrants coming in this motherfucker. Like, that's a thing she said. Whether or not it's a core for her, I don't care. She said it. You agree with that shit? She supports it. You rock with that shit? She is going to push further forward. That's the thing you think she should be doing?
Okay, now do I get to use my words?
Yeah, you can answer any one of those questions.
Okay, cool. Do I feel like as long as that is the law, she will make sure that it's enacted? Yes. Do I feel like she wants it to be the law? No. Do I feel like she's going to change it from being the law? No. But the fact of the matter is that's the law, so that's what it is. And as long as it is the law, as it sounds like she's saying, as long as it is the law, then I gotta support that shit. Well, I have not support it, but I have to enforce it. So then I want to make sure that I use the right words. It's just- it that's what that sounds like to me. That's what that sounds like to me.
Hey, look. Who you trying to convince, me or you, fam? You
I'm
reiterate.
trying.
I ain't even
I'm trying.
challenge you on it. You keep saying this.
Huh?
You repeating this shit.
No, I'm repeating it so that it is clear to you all that that's what that sounds like to me.
It sounds like to us that you're trying to convince your goddamn self.
Nope. I'm just telling you that's what it sounds like to me. So when you motherfuckers sit here and tell me that that is not what I hear, I want you motherfuckers to realize that that is what that sounds like to me. So you can't tell me what the fuck I hear.
Hey, look, I ain't telling you what the fuck you hear. I'm telling you what the fuck she said. And hey,
Yeah.
look, we can leave it there.
I'm telling you what the fuck you heard. No, you know you didn't hear no shit like that. That's what I'm telling you.
And I'm telling you,
I'm not ever playing any of those games with no human.
I'm not trying to play none of these games and I'm not trying to play this game with your ass. But what the fuck I'm telling you is that you not gonna sit and fucking tell me what the fuck I'm hearing. I don't give a fuck what you think what you hearing, and you can tell me what you think I'm hearing. But I'm telling you, you're wrong.
Hearing shit. I know you heard what she said.
And again, I'm telling you, you fucking wrong.
So you didn't hear what she said.
Yes, I heard what she said, and I'm telling you what the fuck that means.
Hey, look, I'm with you. That's what you rocking with. That's cool with me.
I agree with that. That's what he rocking with. That ain't what he believed, think, heard. None of that other shit. That's what he's rocking with. And why? I don't know. That's the conundrum here.
Hey, hey. So this other part, it just, hey, look, this gave, I don't know why it gave me joy that it did, but it did. Hey, look, it's hilarious, but go
Do we
ahead and
think
play the.
that admonishing her in any way is a solid vote for Trump or something?
What?
I say, do we think as a populace that admonishing the other side is a vote, is casting a ballot in the opposite direction?
Fam, we already think that me voting for a whole white woman is a vote for a whole other white orange man.
No, that ain't what I said. I said,
No, I ain't saying what you said. I'm saying people say that. People say that a vote for the Green Party, Jill Stein and Butch is a vote for Donald Trump. And I'm saying, how the fuck is me voting for a white woman and a black man a vote for Donald fucking Trump? I don't get it, but okay, cool.
Because what they're saying is the only people voting for either one. Because what they're saying is that the same people are voting for either one of them.
No, my
it's
thing
just a
is
small group of motherfuckers, though. Just see this one.
Look, regardless of that, that doesn't even matter. My
that
vote.
Does, what they saying
no, let me finish. My vote doesn't belong to Kamala. So to assume that my vote automatically is going to go to her as opposed to going to Donald Trump, if I were to vote for him, like me voting for Jill Stein is not me voting for Donald Trump. I could actually just vote for Donald Trump. And then that would be a vote for Donald Trump.
But here's the psychology of what people are saying. The only people who are voting for Jill Stein are radicalists that are looking for a reason to vote for Trump, but have no solid one because they are still intelligent. They are radicalists who are so counterculture. They are looking for a reason to vote for Trump and just can't find one. So they'll settle for Jill Stein. That's what they're saying.
I could vote for Cornel West if I wanted to. There's a whole Libertarian Party candidate running. I can't remember the name right now because who cares? But I could vote for him.
I mean, but it's the same thing. A vote for him is a vote for Donald Trump. They can run the same rhetoric.
Hey, look. If I vote for the Libertarian candidate, how would that vote for Donald Trump? That would be the same. That would be the same logical gymnastics as saying that a vote for a Libertarian candidate is a vote for Kamala Harris.
No.
Yeah, because they automatically assume that the Libertarian ideals are going to line up more closely with the Republican ideas, and that Republicans own Libertarian votes. But nobody ever says that because it's ridiculous to think that. And we get into the other conversation we want to bump into about the disrespect of black man real quick. If we could get through this part,
No,
and
again,
then
hold on.
back to this type of conversation right here, because we
hold on. Can I interject? We don't know if they say that because I don't think we travel in the correct circles to know that.
Hey, look.
To know if they say what?
If they say that a vote for the Libertarian candidate is a vote for Kamala Harris. That's what he's saying.
No, I thought you were just being sarcastic in that and posing a juxtaposition of the counter. But they are literally saying with due cause that voting for any of these non-considered candidates is a vote for Donald Trump in this regard, because you are genuinely aligned for the most part with the Democratic Party, but you're disillusioned.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. You're disillusioned. So you then become a radical. So you have sheep. Let me finish my statement. You have the sheep who are going to vote regardless in both spheres. Regardless. The only people you can communicate with is the radicals of both sides. Donald Trump's radicals don't budge. They go deeper into his. The only one you can sway is Democrat free thinkers. That's the radicals that they're talking about to get the vote for Cornel West and Jill Stein. Donald Trump's radicals are not going to do that to the counter. So the only ones you can sway are the Democratic radicals because they are even and balanced. They disingenuously try to pose themselves as social justice warriors. So those are the radicals that are failing this system, the Democratic system. Donald Trump's radicals dig in. These radicals go looking for other things. What are you doing for me? So that's what they mean about the radicals and why it's a one-sided affair.
Fam, the Libertarian Party draws, and I don't even know this be a fact, but I believe it to be true. They draw very, very similar numbers to what the Green Party draws. And if you want to look at the political ideologies of these parties, then you will put Green Party under the skew of what a Democrat would probably be, but probably to the left of the Democratic Party. And then you would take the Libertarian Party, and they would skew into the Republican side of the party.
We're not talking about their ideology, though. We're talking about their viability.
What I'm saying to you is this. Libertarian individuals vote for libertarians.
I just explained myself goddamn well. Very goddamn well.
I don't.
We're not talking about their ideology.
Not the actual vote.
We're talking about their disillusion. We're talking about one particular set of people, not the actual Libertarian People Party. We're talking about the Democrats who are so disillusioned with the Democrats. So they are looking for anything, anywhere, anybody.
Cool.
That's who we are talking about. There is no such party of the Republicans that gets so disillusioned with the Republicanness that they search out. And if there is, they're not big enough to even.
I keep telling you the Libertarian Party, and you keep ignoring that for some reason.
The Libertarian has always been the Libertarian Party. They're not Republicans. Separated from the Republican Party a long time ago.
And the Green Party is not Democrats.
Exactly. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. And the ones who skirt from the Democratic Party are the antagonists. Because the Republicans don't do that. I'm not talking about these offshoot parties. I'm talking about the actual viable candidates.
Fam, Republicans pill off all the time and don't vote. And vote for
not in enough sway, not in enough numbers to get mentioned to the conversation we're having. I think they do leave Republican Party to go elsewhere to Democrat Party, but not in big enough numbers. But what the Democrats
why you
Hold on.
We're talking about Democrats leaving, not voting for. What you're trying to pose is, as I'm assuming, is Democrats, people that align with Democratic values, that caucus with the Democratic Party, not voting for the Democratic Party, and instead using that vote to vote for Jill Stein, the Green Party member, right?
Yes.
What I am telling you, man, let me finish. What I am saying is that. What I'm saying is that I think that on the Republican side, Republicans that would typically caucus with the Republican Party sit there and say, hey, nah, fuck that. I'm going to vote Libertarian this time around.
I agree.
I think it happens at the same tick on both sides.
That's where we disagree.
Okay. Just let me get my shit out so you can hear what I'm saying. So you can stop saying we agree, because we don't. I keep telling you I don't agree with you.
It's clear we don't. It's clear we don't agree. But I said clearly what I said. And so the fact that you said no means you think something different. So what you think differently is moot. Motherfucker, I already addressed what you said. I said it happens over there, but not at a large enough tick.
Right. And we disagree about that.
Mentioning.
We disagree about that. And that's fine.
That's right. We know that.
Okay, cool. All right. So moving on. If you'll allow me. I just wanted to cap off this last Kamala segment that I wanted to point
Oh
out.
no, we definitely got to talk about the black man before we move off of this thing.
We can. Whatever you want to bring up, bring it up. I wanted to
Right.
bring
All
it
right.
up.
So the Sonny Hosting bitch.
Hey,
on
hold on. Wait a minute. This is queued
you
up.
can bring up whatever I want you to bring up.
Not now. Let me do this because this is queued up. Then you can bring up whatever the fuck you want to bring up. But the show got to have some kind of order. This is already ready to go.
Okay. That's literally what I just said. I said, let's talk. I wanted to talk about the black man.
I was already queuing this up and you keep interrupting me, nigga.
I wasn't interrupting you. I just said I wanted to talk about it. That's it. And you said you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. So I started talking about it. Is that not how that just went?
No. But okay.
Yeah.
It's not how that just went, but all right. So she conceded the argument or the debate in this interview in a very, very spectacular way. It was amazing to watch a person that's trying to be contentious in the subject and argue a point, not be able to substantiate the shit that they're trying to say. And so much so flabbergasted that she just quits in the middle of it and says, man, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying. That's what she does because she doesn't have any answers anymore.
Play the clip.
Let's play the clip.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
I think you got it muted. You got the video muted, I think. Or you're not sharing your audio. Is the computer freeze?
Nah, it's going. I see the words going. See his lip moving, but no sound.
Yeah, but it's going, but she ain't stopped it yet. And I think she would hear me saying, hey, we can't hear this. So that's why I said, oh, did it freeze?
Nigga, Abe Lincoln is from fucking Illinois.
What?
Who?
Abe Lincoln is from fucking Illinois.
Yeah.
Nobody's surprised by that, but you.
Hey, nigga, I was surprised by how much Springfield is dedicated to fucking Abe Lincoln.
Okay, both you motherfuckers just surprised about like the most.
No, nigga, you'd be surprised that literally the entire city is a fucking Abe Lincoln.
I wouldn't be surprised, fam. 8th grade graduation trip. You know where the fuck we went?
You went to Springfield. I went to Springfield too.
I know you went to Springfield. You went to the same.
Hey, but how much of Springfield did your trip cover?
Shit, I don't even remember the trip. I just remember Abraham Lincoln-ish. It was very Abraham Lincoln heavy.
Yeah, you would think that would be just like one certain section.
You say what?
No, entire city.
Yeah, entire
fucking city. And this ain't like fucking Harvey and no shit. This is actually a normal sized city. That is completely.
You know what's more shocking? I say, you know what's more shocking? The amount of barbecue restaurants in Peoria, Illinois. It's like 2,000. The amount of barbecue restaurants in Peoria, Illinois. It's like 2,000 of them.
All independently owned.
All independently owned.
I think when I went to fucking Peoria, I did see a lot of fucking barbecue restaurants.
Right. I'm like, why the fuck is there so many goddamn barbecue restaurants in this motherfucker? I had to go out there for it's this little fucking medical village in Peoria. Like, Peoria sounds like a place Richard Pryor grew up. It looks like a place that Richard Pryor grew up in the whole house. I mean, it still look like Fallujah out there. And then you get to this medical village. And then the shit just look like the back class from Class Act.
This nigga found MASH in the middle of Illinois.
Hey,
all right.
You like it? I love it. I got it up. You ready?
Yeah.
Of you being vice president.
Y'all can hear that, right?
Mm-hmm.
President and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying. It's on
on rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of, Brett.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, That track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and
Come
I
on,
both know what I'm
Angelo.
I
talking
actually
about.
don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
But you're
people
the
have
lever of
become,
power.
but listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, the former chief of staff to the president, Donald Trump,
And
former defense
she went way
secretaries,
too long
national
listing
security
everybody in
advisor, and his
attendance.
vice president.
You say what?
She went way too long listing everybody in attendance.
Hey, look, definitely. But y'all heard that shit.
Yeah, but she was about to answer the question.
Fam, she's not, but okay. All right, I'll keep playing.
One, that he is unfit to serve, that he is unstable, that he is dangerous, and that people are exhausted with
Okay,
someone
no,
who
never mind. She didn't
professes
answer
to
the
be a
question.
leader who spends full-time.
Fam,
She was about to answer the question at first before he kept going, but you ain't power, but you ain't power.
she was not about to answer the question. The question was,
Why do we need to change? What needs to change?
I thought the question was, what's the new way forward?
Yeah.
Listen, over the last
why is this
Half
country
years
on
of
the
you
wrong
being
track?
vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
and Donald Trump has been running for office.
The prompt was 79% of the people don't like the track the country is on right now. And you saying that you're a new way forward and turning the page, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? And
And
Donald Trump is running for president. That's the response.
yeah, Donald Trump has been running for president for 10 years, and for 10 years, politicians have been acting like dickheads. Motherfuckers need to get the fuck over this shit and start acting like actual fucking politicians that didn't do nothing. That didn't do nothing, but didn't hate each other in the process of not doing nothing.
I thought 3.5 years ago, Joe Biden got in office to do that very same thing.
Joe Biden got in office with Donald Trump, all right.
You
Joe
sound like
Biden got in office. Yep. And I'm actually going to get a chance to finish the fucking sentence. Joe Biden got in office, but motherfuckers were still running the same type of fucking the same type of politics, just running off being angry and hate motherfuckers. That's what the entire American political process has been over the past, 12, 13, 14 years, right?
And it's different now. She's the ushering ushering in the change of a new, more civil American political atmosphere.
I'm hoping that is what she's running on.
It's not, though. She's running on the exact same thing Joe Biden ran on, calling it something different. This is a new way forward. I'm restoring the what do you call it? Not the reputation, restoring the faith of the nation.
She out here on her Theodore Roosevelt and her New Deal.
You say what?
She out here on her Theodore Roosevelt and the New Deal.
It probably got a brand new bag, but it's the same fucking Louis, nigga. We recognize it. So
I think
back to it.
So my lungs still don't work.
You say what?
I say I'm not getting hot, so my lungs still don't work.
Oh, hey, look.
2 hours in, and I don't have my mic hooked up. I should have hooked the mic up.
Hold on, the fact Joe, your lungs don't work and you over there smoking peacefully and mine's working and I'm over here coughing like a goddamn dog.
No, mine just ain't absorbing shit. There's something wrong with the barrier. The exchange ain't happening. Like
his membrane too thick. His membrane too thick. I don't know.
Pause.
Here you go, one more time.
Then what separates us?
Madam
That
Vice
is
President, more than
turning the page.
70% of people
That is
tell
about turning the
pollsters-
page on rhetoric that people are
Hey.
frankly exhausted of, Brett.
More than
People are
70% of people
exhausted.
tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've
since-
been the person
Come
holding
on,
the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What
All
I'm
right.
talking about
So-
is that over the last decade,
I'm almost sure that that is him reiterating the question that she was in the middle of answering, because I feel like I remember that.
Fam,
She was in the middle of dancing around it then.
she was not answering the question. He didn't interrupt her. He didn't break her train of thought. She was stumbling and rambling and saying something as asinine as, why do 79% of the response to why do 79% of the people not like what you doing?
Donald Trump, am I right?
Donald Trump is running for president.
Okay.
What?
All right. Now, can I tell you what I recall hearing in the
Fam.
entirety of that?
All right.
He asked her, "Hey, country's been off course. Why do people feel like anything going bad?" And she was like, well, nah, some shit like he asked her, what is it that you gonna do different? You've supposedly been in power for 3 years. So what is it that you're gonna do different? She's like, I'm gonna remind motherfuckers that we have more in common than we are separate. Like, we've been arguing all this motherfuckers, but we all are alike, but motherfuckers have us thinking different. And her plan is to her goal, her Martin Luther King ass speech was, we need to unite each other and unite and be together and all that bullshit. That is what she was in the middle of saying, and he was like, "But you've been in power, and everybody's already thinking that we're going in the wrong direction." And she's saying, "Yeah, that's because this nigga has been campaigning and spilling hate in these goddamn political streets for roughly pretty much since he came down that fucking escalator. He's been spilling hate and bullshit in these goddamn streets. But why have people been eating it up? That's a good question. She fucked up when she said that these people are being fucking stupid. She didn't say that. She should have said that.
Hey, look,
Question
you
is,
talk about a
what
lot of
does that
things that
even mean?
weren't played just now, but I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna go back
because
a little bit.
as I said, you were in the that's the middle of that question.
Hey, look,
No, but let me say what I asked.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I raised my hand, goddammit. I waited patiently, motherfucker. What the fuck does that even mean? I'm almost certain he was asking about policy.
Yeah, he was. I don't know if he was asking about policy. He just the question. The question
What are
was
you gonna
vague.
do different?
Yeah, what are you gonna do differently?
I'm gonna skip into the White House. He wasn't asking her that. He was asking her what policy what is she going to support? Since you're not supporting this transgender shit or answering that question, what are you going to support? What are you going to do differently?
He didn't ask about. Well,
he didn't ask directly, but he asked,
he did.
what are you going to do differently?
I rewound
because
so we could get a little bit more context. Let's listen.
with the kind of rhetoric coming from Donald Trump that has been designed to down the cost of housing, addressing the issue of small businesses, which is my plan for a $25,000 down reduction from 5
for 3.5 years. New way forward, and it's time. I've heard a lot about those plans in recent days. Your campaign slogan is a new way forward, and it's time to a lot about
small businesses, extending the tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000.
We've heard a lot about those plans in recent days. Your campaign slogan is a new way forward, and it's time to turn the page. You've been vice president for 3.5 years. So what are you turning the page from?
Well, first of all, turning the page from the last decade in which we have been burdened with the kind of rhetoric coming from Donald Trump that has been designed and implemented to divide our country and have Americans literally point fingers at each other. Rhetoric and an approach to leadership that suggests that the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down instead of what we all know. The strength of leadership is based on who you lift up. The strength of an American president, which is one who understands that the vast majority of us have more in common than what separates us.
Madam
That
Vice
is
President, more than
turning the page.
70% of people
That is
tell
about turning the
pollsters-
page on rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of, Brett.
More than
People are
70% of people
exhausted.
tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track.
So we just get an accounting of where we're at.
Yeah.
She said, Kareem Akbar. Rich educated brother from the back.
Hold on. Let me try to get it. So what he asked her about was, what is the new way forward? What are you turning the page on? And her response was, I'm turning the page on the rhetoric of what Donald Trump represents and all the political animus that's been going on in this country. And he redirected it and said that, hey, look, 79% of the people think that the direction of the country is on the wrong track. He was trying to bring it, in my opinion, back to a more policy-based response, as opposed to the sentiments and the feelings of the American populace. That's not what we were. That I think that the segment was trying to get to the root of. It wasn't talking about the sentiment, but she wants to bring up the sentiment of the American populace, because they're running on the soul of the nation and the character of the nation, and the things that you say and the way that you carry yourself are so much more important than the policies that you would implement. And he said, to redirect her, 79% of the country feel as though we're on the wrong track, trying to bring this conversation back to a policy-based response.
Hold on.
Is that what you got?
No, hold on. What makes you think that means policy? Because honestly, is it not very easily to assume that he's speaking of continuing on in the same, following up on the point that she's making? Is it not very easy to get there?
I mean, if you want to stretch, I guess you can.
Motherfucker, you don't have to stretch, nigga. There's literally nothing that he said that would insinuate.
You asked me a question. I think that he interrupted her in her line of talking because it was about all of the rhetoric of the political climate and not about the actual policy of the political climate. And I thought that he was trying to redirect that question or this conversation to speak to the policy, and what about your policy? What about what you're going to do is going to represent a turning of the page, a changing of the guard, a movement, a moving forward for our country, not in terms of how we talk to one another, because I don't think that is in any way, shape, or form on the top of people's worries list.
Man, that
the top of
motherfucker
the
said,
list of things that people are concerned about. My
that
bad.
motherfucker said Americans need to stop pointing fingers. Donald Trump. Like back to back. That was literally the line that she said. Americans need to stop pointing fingers, and they
pointing fingers because of Donald Trump.
But she pointed a finger. There were other ways to say that.
She did say we need to stop all this pointing the finger, and then pointing it right at him. That was she did do that shit. But that's what I thought. And her response to his redirect, I thought, was Donald Trump running for president, y'all. Come on. You know what I'm doing. You know what I'm talking about. I just thought that was weak, lazy, and somehow conciliatory.
No, I'm not. I don't think that was. What I think that was a hard-dish effort to not call somebody a motherfucker. You know this motherfucker. That's what she was trying not to do.
Hey, maybe.
Hey,
This
what happened?
motherfucker must be stopped. That's what she wanted to say.
Hey,
Mm.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, she essentially did say that. She didn't get the motherfucker out, but
That's why she just went, come on. You know.
like
That's like this
this
motherfucker. You
nigga
know this
is
motherfucker.
he's unstable.
You know this
That is her
motherfucker.
consistently calling this motherfucker.
Mhm.
I
But
think she
yeah,
should call that motherfucker a motherfucker though.
she might as well call that motherfucker. I mean, what the fuck else you got to lose?
What else do you have
Nothing.
at this point?
Nothing.
Call
You
that
on
motherfucker.
you're on Fox News. This is a obviously a last ditch effort to try to drum up some energy around your campaign.
I feel like she's trying to she this is her response to Trump showing up to the NABJ. Pause.
She should have responded to that a long ass time ago, but she didn't. I don't know. I didn't think she fared very well in this conversation, in this interview, in this debate that she had with him. I really don't. And just because of the shit that I showed you, she had a couple moments in there, and I'm not gonna dig for them now. I don't know if our producer is back online. But she had a couple moments where she got some dingers in there where she dug on Donald Trump. In the terms of him, calling people names and stuff like that. It was a nice little. I'm not Trump. I'm not a putrid individual. She said some shit like that. But it wasn't anything about policy. It wasn't nothing in terms of substantial things for the American people. It was all just digs at Trump. And that's where she scored her points. Digs at Trump. And that's cool if that's what you're looking for. But I'm looking for policy. Um,
I
l-
felt like she explained a little bit of policy for the motherfuckers on Fox News. They had to wait all the way to the end to
hey,
get it, but she did get a couple of them policy joints in.
she did. And before that, earlier today, she did get a lot of policy joints out, specifically for her plan for black men.